Call the meeting in order.
Great.
We'll stand, say the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
All right, we know Mr. Boomer's not here. Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Sarver?
Here.
Mr. Anderson?
Present.
And Supervisor
Here.
Russo?
Approve the minutes of the last board meeting on April 16th, 2019.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay. Discussion? No discussion? We'll make them, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, okay. Public comment.
Rojean Hamilton?
I have attended every meeting for 25 consecutive months. I started coming because there are false statements about me in past minutes. It is my right to question you, and it is inappropriate for you or your attorney to complain about that. In February of 2017, I questioned the need and cost for a lawyer to hear a petition challenge. Upon investigation, I found a false statement about me in the February minutes. In March, the March 2017 minutes contain a falsehood about me and Jim Dunn. I came to the May 2017 meeting to protest that and to have it corrected. Supervisor Musso said it would be corrected, but no action was taken. In June, June 2017, this board approved the May 2017 minutes, which state, Supervisor Musso assured Rojean that he did not mention any names and her name will be removed from the March minutes. Unfortunately, at that same meeting, you hired a lawyer who said once approved, you only get one meeting to change them. So you took that bad advice and you didn't correct it as the approved minutes promised. In July 2017, the clerk put corrections to minutes on the agenda. At Mr. Nelson's advice, you voted to table it until August. The elected clerk gave the prepared corrections to the supervisor and quit, but the corrections never made it back to the table in August, per your vote. The previous clerk did make it back, though, and she promptly put another false statement about me in the August minutes. I contacted each of you personally. Not one of you acknowledged the issue. The Attorney General sent you a letter encouraging you to, quote, correct past minutes when they contain factual errors, even with respect to matters that were not formally proposed, deliberated, or decided. You ignored that. In March 2018 and February 2019, you corrected minutes from 6 months and 4 months in the past. You can and you have corrected minutes long past 1 month after the approval date. There has been discussion that a new board can't correct minutes from a previous board. However, it was the previous supervisor who was cited in the May 2017 minutes saying that the error would be corrected. The new board had not yet been seated when that business was conducted. When one board concludes their term and another takes over, the business of the township continues. It's not a matter of wiping the slate clean and starting over. I expect this board to carry out the promise stated in the approved minutes of May 2017. The resolution you approved in June 2018 is pointless unless you do as it states and strike the names from the record. My expectations were, are, and will remain for you to correct the February, March, and August 2017 minutes as I have requested in the past. If you've lost your copies of these errors, the clerk has them and you can get copies from her. And last, please address the $8,434.71 discrepancy in the general assistance account that was not explained last month. Thank you.
Okay. I had a little complaint about the fence in the back. Somebody keeps running into it. Jim, you were it.
I'm it.
You're it. You've run into it. When I took over in '09, we had to replace all 4 or 5 poles. Okay? You kept running into it. The guy described your truck. He described you completely. If you go out there and look right now, you're backed into her pretty good. Okay? So if the guy says, we gotta fix it, that'll be on you, because it's your pickup truck.
If you
Okay.
think it was, that's fine.
Well, we know it is.
Well, I can go out there and look, right
Yeah,
now,
you-
but
You
I
can.
I do usually back in, yes.
Yes,
so.
you do. Yes, you just back up too far, Jim. I'm just telling you right up front. Okay, I'm going to have to, get another cleaning lady. She doesn't seem to wanna show up on, her mother, was sick, came down pretty bad, I guess, heart attack last month, and she never showed up, so it's all I did is vacuum, the floor, didn't need too much dusting. So I will look for another cleaning lady because I don't know what's the matter. That's about all I have, to say tonight.
What are you paying for the
Would you-
cleaning lady?
We pay $30.
$30 a time,
Yes,
Yes.
and how often does she come?
once a month. If we get dirty in between, usually I will vacuum or, Betsy will tell me, but she hasn't said anything. But, that's about all, so. Okay. Clerk,
I don't have anything.
Highway Commissioner.
We fixed the approach on Summer Road out there, dropped pretty good on our new bridge.
Yes.
I'm really not doing much business anymore at Peabody out here. Last year, our cutter bar, all the gears went out. I went out to see them to get a new bar. They said they couldn't get one. They're on back order and they come out of France. And I called up Monroe and they had one in about 7 days. We had a crack in the frame in the mower, last week. Went out there to see if they had the part or get the part. Well, they didn't have the part, but they had a new mower. They gave me a price on that, and, but the part I needed was, almost $900, the frame. I called up Monroe and said they could have one in 3 days, and they were like $90 cheaper. So
Really?
I don't think I'm gonna be doing any more business out there.
Well, when you sit there and you can prove that they're trying to rip us off just because we're a township or a government body, go somewhere else.
Have you confronted them about the better prices, or?
Yeah. That's about all I got until we get into the dump truck.
Well, okay. We're gonna go with,
We need to go to the trustees.
oh, okay, we'll go to the trustees next.
Yeah, I got one. Until I start seeing the, canceled checks, I can't verify the finances at all. And I'd like to vote on, the road separate from the township.
Oh, you mean as far as like
The
the
bills.
bills?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
In
In other words, Sarver, you're telling me after all these years, you don't believe the register there, you don't believe that?
Yeah, I kinda get into that point. I did mine, I'm doing the township sewer pack,
Yeah,
and I'm able to verify everything. And because I have an outside person doing it, I just like to be checked. And I think that is the best way to check, is to see the canceled checks and look at the numbers and see if they match and see if we're missing one.
so if we,
I'm not saying anything crooked, I'm just telling you, there's no way to verify it.
well, that's a bank statement right there, so I don't know what more you would wanna ask, but,
So are you asking for this to be on the agenda next month then to vote on
Pardon?
having this? Are you asking for this to be on the agenda then next month to vote for the road and township separately?
Yes.
Okay.
I also like to see the canceled checks. I believe it, Joe, I believe was there, but I think you know, I've stated different times that I would like to see the, we get them in some, we don't get them in other.
correct.
accounts.
That's the way that bank does it over there. If we
I
get-
know. And
if
the
we get on
cost
the-
you said is very high, Joe. I don't,
It's a couple bucks,
It's a
so
couple
it's,
bucks.
huh?
It's $2.
yeah,
Yeah.
for total, per
No.
check.
No.
No,
Per check.
for the account.
Not per
that
check.
month.
Yeah,
Colleen has already said that, Joe.
Okay.
It was $2 for the bag,
Okay.
not $2 a check.
All right, that's what you think it is, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm telling you what she said.
That, I just told you.
It don't cost me anything at German American. No,
Okay, that's good.
plus I'm getting interest on my checking account.
Good, good for you,
Mhm.
good for you.
any other trustees, you have anything? You know, I'll look at this fence out here, it probably is me, you know, you know, it probably is me. Joe, I'm on the state board of trustees. I've asked you when I go to the meetings, every other trustee that's there are, about 6 of us, and they get paid by their, we get paid mileage by
Yes.
the trustees association. They also get paid by their township for the meeting, $100. And, you can check that out with the state association of trustees. I've asked you that I would like to be paid when I go
Sarver,
to.
you nervous?
Yeah,
They put that in your pocket. He's talking, I didn't hear what he said.
Well, anyway, Dick, what I'm saying is, I have never gotten anything for going to those meetings, and I've been on the state trustees board for 2 years. You know, we meet about 4 times a year, and it's supposed to be $100, and I am telling you that I would like to be paid for that.
Well, let me just ask you, you wanna be paid $100 because that's what the other people get?
Yes, from
Okay,
their township.
Okay.
We get paid mileage from the trustees association. You can check it out.
No, that's okay, but, you know, the statute requires that nobody's pay be increased or decreased in
And
their
that,
service.
mine isn't increased, it's for attending extra meetings, it's like when Joe goes to extra meetings and so forth. You know, it's not to increase my wage. I would like to be paid for that, and then also I still, would like to know what is going on with our lawsuits in our executive session. And I've asked for that, and I would like to know more about it.
Okay, for one thing, Jim, I do not get paid to go down there by this township. I don't get a dime from this township.
When you attend meetings, Joe, do you
When I
get,
attend meetings down there, I do not get here. I do not get paid through here.
where do you get paid for the meeting?
Torma, that's a
And
separate
that's
insurance.
Torma's decision. The trust, and Joe, just call up the State Trustees Association and check on it. And, you know, I've asked, I think I deserve that when I go to Bloomington and go to a meeting and, vote.
In other words, you're telling me that they pay you mileage?
Yes, they did.
Well, then you can't get paid by us
No, of course not. No,
mileage.
of course not. Of course not. They pay me every time to go down there, but every other trustee that's on the state board there gets the mileage, and then they get from their home township.
Hmm.
So, I'm just telling you that.
Well,
Well,
you,
There's no, I mean, I haven't been here that long, but I would have to see if anything's ever been passed for expenses, okay? And if there hasn't been any, if there's no authority to pay, then you can't be paid.
No, but what about, we go to Rockford to a meeting, to the
Yeah.
township meeting.
okay,
Do we get paid to do that?
no.
no,
It is paid, I'm sorry, that's not a good example, but there are meetings that we go to that we get paid to go, and, so I'm just telling you, I believe that I deserve that. And
Any meeting in the township, you would get paid for, the way I understand your rules, but anything else, there's no authority. to
Yeah,
pay.
well, you know, you
No,
can
I-
argue that issue, John, but I'm gonna argue with you.
Well, you
I
can
don't
argue all you
believe
want,
you are
but
correct. I don't
Well-
believe you understand what the rest of the state does,
it
except
doesn't matter.
you wanna argue that I shouldn't
No,
get
no,
paid, and that's
I
fine.
don't care if you get an
I
extra $100
believe
or
you
not.
do. I believe you
Jim,
can.
calm down,
Okay.
okay, just calm down. Because we have never done this before. I don't know any of the Rockford people that get paid like that. I will check into it, but it's not in our wage package to do so.
You can believe that, that's fine.
You joined this, but we didn't send you down to join it, right?
No,
Join
that
this
was
on
my
your own.
decision to join and represent Pecatonica on the state trustees association, yes. That was my,
While you're on there, what are you doing for us?
I hope that I am trying to promote the trustees and there's, Dick, there's different things that we do to try and get the trustees association to be more prominent in board meetings and to know more about the board meetings. You know, and they're just different things that they do. And it's a state association. Joe's on, you're on Torma, right, Joe?
Yeah,
Are you
but
on
that's-
supervisors?
Nope.
You're not on that. Well, there's a supervisors association, there's a clerks association that meet, and they try and promote, so you get more done in your townships by understanding more about government, right? You know, I brought this up before, and I'm just bringing it up again, and, like I say, I'll look at the fence and see if it's me. And then Joe, I'm also concerned about the, executive session. I would like to get that taken care of. We're going into a
Do
year
you want to go into executive session next meeting?
and discuss this, yes.
Well, then
Discuss
Can we do
what?
that?
discuss what?
Evidently, every time I've asked, you said the trustees aren't allowed to know. You're the only one that knows about the,
Investigation?
yes.
Oh.
Okay, is
What
that,
do you think I'm going to tell you anymore?
I don't
Until the
know.
lawyer tells me different, Jim, I'm not gonna say a word.
If he, you know, and I'm sure he's going to do that probably.
That's all you're gonna do is, make more work for Jen.
Yeah.
And that's all
And I
you're
don't
doing.
wanna do that, Jen.
Well, first of all, Jim, you know, the statute is very specific about what you can go into closed session for,
Yes,
okay? And the two items that most apply to township are anticipated or pending litigation
yeah,
and personnel issues.
personnel or purchase of land, right?
Well, yeah, but we're not
Yeah.
talking purchase of
No,
land.
no, we're
That's-
not, no, we're not.
And that's really that's not used too often with townships. So, I don't see where the board would have any authority to go into closed session.
Okay, that's your decision, and you,
Well, I mean, it's, you know, Jim, we have more complaints filed with the Attorney General here than any place I've ever been.
yeah.
So, I'm
I'm
not gonna
sure.
say, go ahead, go into closed session.
No, okay, but we can't know, then Joe is the only one that really knows about it, right? Joe?
Well, apparently.
Yep, apparently. All right, fine, I brought up my point, Joe, that's,
Okay,
okay,
All
I'm
right.
satisfied.
okay. Dick, you got anything? No? Okay, attorney's report.
Well, I received a 5-page epistle from the Attorney General that Brian Boomer had received as a FOIA officer. I haven't had a chance to go through it yet, but for me, the bottom line was they issued a non-binding opinion. And I'm gonna have to call the woman up and see what she's really talking about, but I gotta read the thing first. And, you know, I would say that is the most recent matter that has anything to do with the township and legal stuff.
Is this from the state's attorney's office, or?
No, the Attorney General's office.
Attorney General,
They,
okay.
you know, we've had, again, Joe, I don't wanna beat the dead horse.
Yeah,
But we've had several FOIA challenges, I guess, and a fair number of open meeting acts complaints. And this particular thing was an open meeting act complaint. For some reason, I think they think 15 minutes restriction to sign up to speak is not fair or something, when, you know, the city, it's a couple days in advance, and the county is, I think, noon of the same day of the meeting,
yeah,
and you guys specifically, I had written the draft to have 30 minutes notice,
yeah.
and you got, and the reason I picked 30 minutes was it's such a, we're a small government entity, and you guys cut it down to 15 minutes.
Brian Boomer, I remember
Yeah.
that, yeah. And
So, you know, apparently you know, in my view, you know, Ms. Hamilton seems to sign up every week on time, and, or every meeting. And I don't know why if someone didn't want to speak, they couldn't get here 15 minutes early. I just don't understand it, but in any event, that's like I say, is the most thing, but I like to come to these meetings, you guys raise so many issues that, you know, we'll see what happens.
I remember when you wrote that, John, and you know, I think I stated at the time I was very much against
Right.
that, because I felt that when people that come here, as long as we don't have an excessive amount, if we had 20 people want to talk, if 2 or 3 people want to talk, that's our job, to listen to them, you know, each one of us, whether we listen to them on the street or we listen to them here. I just think as long as it's not excessive, let's listen to them.
Well, Jim, I have to say that, you know, the meetings I've attended, people have been able to speak.
Yep.
And they've been able to make their points in 3 minutes or less.
Not Mrs. Smith.
Oh,
God, I said that wrong. The attorney. One day she didn't sign in on time.
that's correct.
And
She was standing in line.
She was
We
gonna
been
get
by
on
the
line,
ordinance?
and she should have been able to speak.
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah, I really
You guys
feel
need to
that way.
refrain from using people's names. We're in an open meeting,
Yeah.
just so you know.
So,
Okay.
anyway, I've had my say.
Okay.
You're done, John. Okay. All right, new business, discussing the vote of resolution for the road district to purchase a new dump truck.
So basically, I'll just read this. Whereas the Pecatonica Road Commissioner wishes to purchase a 2019 Ford diesel with auto transmission, stainless steel V snowplow, stainless steel dump box, a stainless steel salt spreader. Whereas a dump truck is available for purchase from Benell Industries, and the amount they are asking is around $88,350. Whereas the dump truck has met all the specifications of the total price of $88,350. Whereas it is the recommendation of the Pecatonica Road Commissioner to purchase this dump truck from the Benell Industries, and whereas the total cost from this expenditure will be paid from the Pecatonica Road District Fund. So now therefore be it resolved by the Pecatonica Township Board of Pecatonica, Illinois, hereby directs and designates to execute said contract with Benell Industries of Dixon, Illinois, for the above mention of the 2019 Ford dump truck.
Now, is this gonna be for road work or
Yeah,
for
our little-
Memorial Day parade?
Our little everyday truck.
Yeah.
The reason we're going this route with a vote is because I don't wanna trade it in, because they're wasn't gonna give me very much money, so we're gonna put it out for bids, and we'll do a lot better putting it out for bids, sealed bids.
Seems reasonable. And Bruce, the V-plow, is that one you can train me straight and everything? That's fine.
This won't be actually a brand new truck, it'll already be licensed stuff, but it'll be about as close as you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
Got a mileage gun on it, eh?
Jeff,
Over 100.
John's got something to say.
First, did we bid, you know, we gotta have some
Yes,
I
they're,
mean, did we put it out for bids?
not yet.
Oh, this
We
is the
haven't-
truck we wanna buy, but we're gonna put it out for bid?
Oh, what you're
No.
asking is the new one, have you went to like 4 or 5 other places to bid the amount,
No, have
correct?
you published bids? You know, you have to take public bids on anything over $20,000.
It's, that's, is it under 20,000, Bruce?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna
Well,
say,
we'd have to state this type of truck with all of the stuff on it
Right.
and say, can you give us a truck bid for that price?
Oh, no, you just say, please, we are seeking to buy X.
Yes.
Please submit your
Okay.
bid.
And this guy
now-
could do it, and, yeah, all right.
And that's how we got the truck we got. I remember putting out the bids, and all of a sudden, here come this bid from Rock Island or someplace, and
Yeah, it was a state truck, state purchase truck.
This one here is a state purchase truck?
It's through another organization that gets state bid trucks, so it's kind of a state bid truck.
Well,
I'll bring you the paperwork and show it to you.
well, I mean, it could be that we can do an intergovernmental agreement and buy this particular truck if there was a bid process in it somewhere. But we just can't spend $90,000 without a public bid.
I'll bring my paperwork down, I got it.
Okay.
And
Can you-
you may well be right, John, on this intergovernmental agreement. You may be able to just do that.
Well, a few years ago, Rockford Township let out a bid for I don't know how many trucks. And maybe with the fire they'll be doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, by doing an intergovernmental agreement, there were several townships that piggybacked on that and got trucks at the same price, the same qualifications.
Yeah.
But you have to have something like that at the least, or you have to have a bid. Now, you know, in all honesty, Bruce, I mean, there are people that comb the bids, you know what I mean? But on the other hand, you know, it may be that this guy would be the only bidder. And especially, is it a 2018 truck?
19.
2018?
It's been
19.
licensed.
19.
Yeah, I'll have to show the paperwork, John, it'll explain everything to you why we don't have to put it out for bids.
Okay. Well, that's,
Yeah, I went through
If I-
that
you're right.
before we did it.
right, okay.
Yeah. When Bruce and I got the truck he's got now, we had to put it in the paper and publish it, and it's for so many days, and then bid opening would be at 10 o'clock on
Right.
such and such a day. And all of a sudden,
And-
all the dealers around here, a guy from, it was Rock Island or something, got the bid.
Well, they had the truck,
They had the truck. Yeah.
because it was a state
Well, that's
bid
the other,
truck.
yeah, that's the other problem we
Yeah.
get is they'll bid, but they won't bid the same
Yeah, and so,
qualifications.
whatever you have to do.
Yeah, we did it right, I'll have to show John.
So,
Okay.
do you wanna table the resolution, or what do you wanna do?
Well, I suppose,
Well, let's table it, make sure that I'm right.
yeah, John, you brought up a valid point, and so I would
So
say,
do we have to wait a month then to okay this,
Well-
in case he buys it?
unless,
He can't buy it until we okay
The
it.
board.
well, maybe you and
If
he could look at
Bruce-
it.
if Bruce and John agree on what Bruce is doing, I can call you guys and we can get, I believe we can do it over the phone one at a time. Are we allowed to do that, John?
Well, I would have to look into that. I'm not
Okay.
solidly comfortable with that.
We-
See, what I'm worried about is the deadline on buying this
No,
thing.
no, we can wait a month.
But if we have to call a special meeting, John, and after
Right.
you've approved it, you know, let's spend the money and let's do it,
We
get
won't
the
have to
truck.
do that. We won't have to.
Okay, if you don't have to, that's fine. I want you to get
No,
the truck.
I made sure we wouldn't have to put out bids, so
Okay.
I'll explain, John, I'll get them in the paper.
So then the next thing was when to publish the bid in the paper for the old one. So we're gonna have to put that kind of on the
Yep.
back burner.
Yeah, we'll wait a month.
Everything will be held up on that,
Okay,
okay?
cause I have that in the bid sheet that I was gonna go over tonight for that.
Yeah, we'll just wait a month.
so. Okay, perfect, just so
Okay,
everybody knows that's gonna be on next month's agenda then.
Yep.
okay, Pecatonica, they, you know, they coming up with this, Pecatonica squish, how do you say?
Sesquicentennial.
Yeah, centennial. They would like
Called
us to.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, okay. They're sort of asking, cause they're a little donation, I don't know if they want for food. They invited the township,
People in the township.
people in the township to come to this. I don't
How much
know,
do they ask?
I have no idea if they're asking for 1,000, 15 or 2.
I think any donation would be,
Yeah.
I don't think they actually put a number on it.
Well,
Is there anybody here from the Sesquicentennial?
no, they're at their other meeting.
The one, yeah, the ones on our night,
If,
Go.
can they come or do they need it this month?
They should
No, I don't know if they need it this
What's
month
the
or not.
legality of donating?
Well, what it is they're looking to, like he said, provide like a picnic for the community, and they've included the invite to people who live out in the township also. So they were asking if we would like to contribute to helping them with the food and everything else. It's not something we have to do, it was just something we were asked, so that's why it's on the agenda.
It's certainly, I think it's certainly legal to make these kinds of contributions. We, you know, in Harlan Township for years, we've contributed to certain organizations. When Doug was the supervisor, he was, as you might, it comes as no surprise, he was a big supporter of, you know, the American Cancer Society. So we always donated to their walks for cancer and that kind of thing. We've donated to the Harlem Boys and Girls Club. We've donated we donate money for the Harlem High School students. They put in a 9-hole frisbee golf course at the high school and paid for, I think, 3 of the 9 holes. So I think you can, you know, it's not, it's legal. Now, I don't know, you know, I do not know your budget like the back of my hand, and I don't know if we have a budget for contributions, but it certainly could be pulled even from the miscellaneous account.
or attorneys.
Well,
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
I just thought I'd ask.
we just,
I think though, if it's something that we wanna do or would feel like doing, that we need to have some kind of say on what kind of food is provided. 'Cause
well, if
yes,
it's
thank
going
you.
towards the food, fine.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be food and everything else, iffy.
And if John can cover us, John,
right.
that we're okay doing it. I'm glad to do it. Sesquicentennial only comes around every few years.
Right.
You know.
Well,
Few
But you
of
know,
them.
once you start something,
I
there's
You're
gonna be a
right.
ton of organizations that want 3
You're
months.
right.
I know, Dick.
I just
know.
got 5 letters yesterday in the mail for organizations want me to donate money to them. I donate to different ones because I feel they do a lot of good for the world as
Yep.
well as local.
Well, the ones that sent me made mistakes, they said, you don't need a stamp. So I put the thing in there and told them she died and send it back to them, they can pay for the stamp.
Oh,
Maybe they'll stop sending me stuff.
Well, I would think for the Pecatonica Township Board, you know, it would be similar to the Harlan Township Board, many township boards throughout the state, and that is, you might be more supportive of the local organizations that do something in the township. Another donation we at least used to make, I'm not sure if we still do, is to the food pantry.
Yes.
And so, you know, that is a resource that, you know, especially in township, lends to supporting GA.
absolutely, absolutely.
We, John, we quit because this group up here started going to, I know once we give the turkeys or the amount of money to them, we really don't have much to say, but when I found out that they were giving 5 or 6 families there and 5 or 6 out of Rockford, I says the township money should stay here.
Right.
If the people was to come here and ask me for groceries, usually if it isn't too much, I usually pay it out of my own pocket. I have done that several times. But we used to give, we'd buy all the turkeys or the hams.
Yes.
And we quit when I thought, man, we're gonna get in trouble. But once I give it to them, I really don't have much to say, but if the people start finding out that we're supporting the people in German Valley and their township, the 5 or 6 families out of Freeport or Stevenson County, and the ones in Rockford, and I says, we're gonna have to stop.
And I understand what you're saying, Dick, but sesquicentennial, you know, that's
Well, I know it's a
150
big deal.
years.
It's a big deal, and I've contributed a lot to this community over the years in my construction business, as well as donating money to, and I'm all for it. But I'm like Joe, if it stays here, but if it's gonna get out other territories, then I don't.
John, I would say, I'd like to have you cover us.
If we could see some documentation of what they're gonna spend it on, like food, and we get a
You want me to
receipt for it or something, that would be all right, but
Who's ever in charge?
Actually,
willy-nilly,
there's
forget
a
it.
meeting tomorrow night, I can get the information if need be, but, you guys.
Well, I will say this, in Harlem, and again, you know, every township has its own way of doing business, but generally when people want a donation, they show up and give you a little
Yes.
reason for it, and,
Well, but
Presentation.
they're all in,
no, I understand they can't make it
Yeah.
tonight, but, if this isn't pressing, maybe they could come next month, or somebody could.
Talk to
come.
Joe, and Joe, you relay the message to us.
well, I think that's what we're doing,
Yeah,
I think that's why it's on the agenda.
yeah.
I mean, it's either a yes or no, and then if it's a yes, you need to decide on a dollar amount, that's what we need to get to here, so.
Can we do yes per your, say that it's
Sure.
okay with our state organization or whatever?
No,
I
can find
would
the-
gladly like to help them, but I would like to have you kinda covering us.
Mhm. Okay.
So do you need a motion to say,
I mean, that,
look,
yeah, I would assume if
and-
you're gonna vote one way or the other, you're gonna.
We're gonna-
and we can't really put a money,
Don't wanna put a money, let's just say that we will go with, a donation once we find out what it's for, and we'll make the amount
That
then,
was legal.
as per
yeah,
John's.
yeah.
And I don't know, like you say, did they looking for 500 or are they looking for?
I don't know, I think.
when's
no-
this gonna come off?
I don't know, but I think whatever donation you make, since it's going towards food, you guys need to have a say in what is being spent on. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion on it.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, then, if you're gonna make a motion today, it should be that you endorse the
Request.
request for a thing in an amount to be determined not in excess of blank dollars, with, you know, the organization to be interviewed for what the money will be used for.
I can tell you what it's gonna be used for, it's gonna be used for food.
Well,
But I just would like John to say, yes, we can. You know,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I mean, I don't care either way, we just need to decide.
What do you think, Joe? Would you think 500 to help them out, or?
I don't know,
When's this coming off?
is this the one
I
that,
think it's the one in August, isn't
yeah.
it?
The one-time deal, weekend or something, or
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is
on
the-
it's
yeah.
like a picnic or something they're having down at the,
fairgrounds?
no, the Sumner Park.
Park
And the
District.
Sumner Park is, supplying 2 bouncy houses for kids, is my
okay.
To
understanding.
what?
Bouncy
Bouncy
houses,
house.
you know,
Oh.
like the little fun houses, is my understanding.
Madam Clerk, did they want an answer tonight?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know
sure,
that there is
August.
a meeting
Yeah.
tomorrow night, but, I mean, like I said, I could care either way, what you guys decide to do, but,
Well, then it's more simple, it's like the board would, I make a motion, the board, endorse the idea of a donation to the system.
Not to, but.
Well,
not
no,
to-
and just saying,
Possible
subject
donation.
to, legal opinion to be rendered at the next meeting or something.
Is that okay, Jen?
oh, I don't care, that's fine.
Yeah, let's make sure we're legal.
And Joe, you're fine with doing this, say up
Oh,
to
and
$500
if you guys
or
want
whatever?
doc-
5 to
Documentation.
1,000, I don't know,
Yeah.
Look,
we got a lot of
If you want
people gonna eat.
documentation, I can get a hold of somebody.
500
Your
ain't gonna
daughter's
go
on
very
the board
far.
I
for
know she
crying out
is,
loud.
I know she is, that's why.
And get
Let's find out
documentation.
how much they're looking for.
That's fine.
Okay, all right, well, so we'll.
We need some input.
Right,
And that's
$500,
fine.
you know.
His
ain't
daughter's
what it
on the
used
board,
to
I'll
be.
get a hold of
Not
her.
even close,
And
okay?
a half-sister.
We made it, we make a motion to,
Get involved.
Yeah.
yeah, make a motion to donate for food for the
Sesquicentennial.
Sasquatch
Sasquatch.
and determine on how much when we find out, what it is.
Alright,
I'm for that.
'Cause somebody should know.
Yep,
Second it?
who wants to
I'll
second
second
that?
Okay, Dick is seconded.
you made.
Any
the
more
motion.
discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Alright,
Treasurers and bills to be paid for the payment. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
As far as the CD interest, we haven't got that.
$292 and 67 cents for the town. 168.75 for the general assistance.
What was the other one? 200 and what?
292 and 67. That's since January or December it was, yeah.
They pay every quarter?
Well, I would say, if we're doing that, we're doing pretty good every quarter. I didn't ask.
If it was since December, Joe, it's, almost 6 months.
Well, it's a 9-month deal, so it's January. This is only 9 months,
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
and by the way, when you asked that, Sarver, I'm going to ask a gentleman next month to come and talk about an investment instead of sitting with these banks with our CDs.
do you know who that gentleman is?
What kind of gentleman?